Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Lucas, and today we're going to be looking at something quite challenging. We're going to be trying to integrate YouTube's API with Lovable. Now, if you go to the Lovable integrations documentation under unverified integrations, you can scroll all the way to the bottom, and somewhere over here you'll find the YouTube integration. And basically, this is a complicated one because, if you click on this, you're going to see that there is a bunch of different functionalities that you can add to your Lovable app. YouTube is part of the Google universe, right? It's owned by Google, or it's a Google product. And basically they have a bunch of different types of functionalities that you can add to your app. You can do like send resumable uploads, find made for kid video status, work with channel IDs. So it's very extensive, very sophisticated. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to see how easy it is to integrate with Lovable. What are the steps, right? We know that over here at the very top, we have some sample prompt that we can use with these unverified integrations, but I just want to kind of see what the steps are over here, how easy it is to integrate with such a complicated API like the YouTube API. And then at the end, we can go ahead and play around and see what we can actually add in the app, if we can like upload YouTube videos, see different types of comments from a specific channel like mine, and so on and so forth. So if that sounds interesting for you guys, let's go ahead and dive in. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to actually go into Lovable and, start typing out of the app that we want to build. So I'm going to say make an app that allows users to connect their YouTube accounts, and the app can basically read their video comments and recommend responses. So let's go ahead and submit this. And basically the AI gave us this YouTube comment assistant, where you can see we have this first form or notice over here that says connect your YouTube account. What you'll get: view and manage comments from all your videos, AI generated response suggestions, multiple tone options for responses, reply directly from the dashboard, and track engagement metrics. Obviously this is not connected to any YouTube, but if we were to click on this, for example, we get an error. Let's fix that really quick. But yeah, you can basically kind of see it over here. We have John Smith, great video, I learned so much. Sarah, could you go into more detail? So these are all pretty, these are all fake, but eventually with this YouTube API, we can make these actual real comments from a YouTube account, right? All right, and now what we really want to do is add in this YouTube integration, this YouTube API. So let's get this test prompt and let's copy this and let's bring it into our chat over here, and let's say integrate YouTube API. So let's write YouTube API into my site by following the steps in the documentation below. So let's just paste in this documentation. I'm gonna basically just open this getting started one, I guess. I guess if we go back a step, let's see, to V3, we can search a little bit more. Maybe this might be the best choice. Let's just go ahead and paste this. Now we start getting, I'll help you integrate the YouTube API into your application. Let's go through it step by step. First, I need to create a YouTube API client that will handle authentication and API requests. This will work well with your existing YouTube comment assistant application. And while that basically loads, we could go ahead and read the steps over here so we can see that we need a Google account. And actually something that I've noticed is that we have to look for the YouTube API over here in the Google Cloud platform. So we can search for YouTube API, and we have to look for YouTube API v3, which is this one, data v3. And let's enable this. And once that's enabled, we have to create some type of credentials. So let's go over here, and then we can go ahead and create credentials. Let's create an API key. So identifies your project using a simple API key to check quota and access. So let's just do that. And then once we have that, our API key should be available. It's going to pop up and you can just copy that, right? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to write to Lovable with this chat on. I'm going to say, hey, I have my YouTube API key ready. Where can I paste it? So it says, based on your current setup, you can paste your YouTube API key in the YouTube API configuration screen. So let's see if we have that somewhere here. When you first load the application, you should see a screen asking you for your YouTube API key before accessing the main dashboard. So let's just click on connect. Okay, and here's where I have to add the API key. So let me just paste that in. All right, and now once that's saved, we can go ahead and fetch these comments by video ID. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open YouTube, and I believe this over here is the video ID if I'm not mistaken. So we can just copy that and paste that over here. So it says enter the video ID from a YouTube URL like this or like this. So it should be this. If it's not that, then it's all of this. So I'm just gonna grab this as well. And let's fetch the comments. Okay, this doesn't work. Okay, so fail to execute fetch on window. So let me just copy this or take a screenshot of this and give this to the Lovable chat. So I'm getting this error. So we're trying to send a request body with a get request, which isn't allowed according to the HTTP specification. Let's fix this by properly formatting the get request in the YouTube API client. So let's see if this can actually do something. I'm very curious to see that. All right, so now what we can do is we can start again, connect. So it says that the account is connected. Let's go ahead and paste this. We're still getting, so the video identified by the code, a parameter cannot be found. Maybe it's because this is not the ID. Let's just try this again. We still get the same. So we are getting this error now. So now at least the error is changing. So we can be, hopeful for that, but let's just continue working and seeing what might be causing this issue. So looking at the error message in the screenshot, I can see there's an issue with how the YouTube API handles the video ID. The error occurs because the video ID contains special characters like this that should be removed. So maybe it's this, no. Yeah, okay, there's also an and. Let's fix this issue by improving how the video ID is extracted from the user's input. Okay, let's see. I mean, this is kind of my video ID. I search for YouTube video ID and we don't get any. Some of them are just pure text and numbers. So let's see, YouTube video ID extractor. Maybe we can do something like that. ID finder. Then what I can do is just copy this and paste this over here. And this is my ID. Okay. So it's everything before the end. So I actually didn't even try that. Oh, now it works. Oh, damn. It actually worked. So, wow, look at this. So was UX Pilot really required here? What if you gave the prompt directly to Lovable on how I built? Okay, wow. So click reply on any comment to see AI generated response suggestions. So thank you for your feedback. Okay, so it's actually working. Now what I want to do is let's connect. So let's connect OpenAI. So this one, let's connect OpenAI with our app and say that we want to kind of use OpenAI's AI to help us create these responses, right? It understands the comment and it creates the responses. So we can go ahead here and say integration with AI, and we can read a little bit more about this. So we need to first understand what the AI should do, like the feature, right? We want it to understand and help us with the response. So, and we want to add this at the end using OpenAI API. So let's how can we phrase this? So for every comment, let's add an AI that understands the comment and suggests us responses based on the comment's context. Use OpenAI API. Let's go ahead and do that. So now, crazy enough, the YouTube thing is actually working, and we're getting the people's responses. Some of them are not so perfect. I can see that. Yeah, like they're showing these HTML tags. And they're also some of them like with emojis, I think. Let's see, there was one. Okay, they're showing an emoji over here. But some of them, like this one, this is like kind of like a weird thing that happened, right? But at least we can see all of the different comments of this video. We can also see the people that like this comment, which is pretty amazing, right? All right, so now it says I've added OpenAI integration that suggests contextual responses. Now when you click reply on a comment, you'll be prompted to enter your OpenAI API key, after which the system will generate professional, friendly, and concise response suggestions based on the comments, content, and video context. So it's gonna ask us already in the, like when we click on this, but eventually what we can do is we can set that all up here in the settings and have that saved in the user authentication, for example. But let's go ahead and fetch the comments from here. And now let's just add our OpenAI API key. So we can go over here to our OpenAI, over here, sorry, to our different OpenAI API keys. And what we can do is we can create a new key. I'm going to call this one YouTube app, create secret key. And let's go back here and paste that. And let's connect OpenAI. And now comes the fun part. So let's go ahead and we have this clicked. And it says, okay, was UX Pilot really required here? What if you gave the prompt directly to Lovable? Thank you for your question. Conducting a UX Pilot can provide valuable insights. So I appreciate the query. The UX Pilot was essential for gathering user feedback and understanding the needs of our target. We can make something more friendly. I totally get where you're coming from. The UX Pilot helped us shape the platform based on user needs. So while Lovable is a fantasy, we found that running a UX, so we can go like this and we can even adjust certain things like this. We found that using UX Pilot gave us valuable insights that made the final product even better. We can remove this and let's click on submit reply. I'm actually going to save this just in case it doesn't work, but let's click on submit reply. So it didn't really work when I clicked on submit reply, but what we can do is we can ask Lovable to actually make it work, right? So we have this YouTube API working. We have OpenAI working as well. Let's go ahead and ask it to get this working, that when I click on reply and I send a reply, when I submit a reply, it should work. So when I submit a reply, it should actually be posted in YouTube. So let's go ahead and send that. All right, now it says that make sure you have set up your YouTube API access token, not just the API key in the YouTube API configuration for this to work, as posting comments requires OAuth authentication. So it's an additional type of authentication. So I'm going to tell it to, let's add the different API inputs. Let's add the different API inputs inside of the settings page so that they are all in one page, right? Let's click on submit. All right, so it says I've created a new settings page that consolidates all API configurations in one place with tabs for these three different inputs. So let's go to our settings and we have this one set, we have this one set. This is the one that we need to do. So connect with YouTube. YouTube OAuth authentication would be initiated here. Connect with your YouTube. Okay, so there's something unsuccessful. Let's try to fix this. All right, so but I really can't connect my YouTube zero auth or OAuth. So where can I connect my OAuth? Okay, I think I understand. So basically what we can do is we can publish this. So I'm going to publish this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this in a new tab. And I think that the authentication is going to pop up. Like it says connect with your YouTube. You click on that and I have to kind of accept that. So let's see if I go over here, I click this and we should start from scratch. So let me go connect with YouTube. I'm going to set up my YouTube API key, which I have somewhere. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to this tab and paste it over here. We save that API key. We go to settings. We add the open API key, which I also should have over here. And in this case, I had to do a new one. So let's connect OpenAI. That's connected. And now connect with YouTube. Nothing happens. So when I click, let's just go over here. When I click on connect with YouTube, nothing happens. All right, now it says the connect with YouTube button now works properly. I've implemented the authentication flow. So added proper flow implementation, added input fields for users to enter their client ID. Okay, enhanced the tab to show connection status. All right, so let's go ahead and try that. So actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna publish this again, update this. And all right, now it says auth client ID. So let's just do that, get that from Google. Let's create a new credential, this one. And let's use, I don't even know, web application. Let's call this one like YouTube tutorial. Let's click on create. And then we get our client ID. Let me just paste that over here. All right, and if I paste this over here, so it says that it's blocked. We can't sign in because this app sent an invalid request. You can try again later. So let's go ahead and take a screenshot of this and paste that in here. So once I add my client ID and click on, what did I click on? I clicked on connect with YouTube. So I've implemented the YouTube auth flow to fix the redirect URL mismatch. These changes include dynamically determining the base, okay, improving the error handling, adding additional console tags, console logs. So when you use this updated code, make sure your client ID in Google Cloud Console has exactly this redirect URL configured. Oh, okay. So your app URL / settings. Oh, okay. So we need this as a redirect. So if I go over here, so I'm basically going to hide the right side because you can see my client ID and all of that stuff, but it's basically over here, right? No. And we're going to add redirect URL and click on save. And it says it may take 5 minutes to a few hours to kind of see if that actually worked. So it says to add this URL we did where your app is a full URL of your application, including the protocol, example http/your app lovable.app. I think we did that. You need to ensure your authorized JavaScript origins and redirect URLs match exactly what your application is using. You can configure these in the Google Cloud Council's credentials section. All right, so let's just see. Right, and I'm also going to add this authorized JavaScript origins. Click on save. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the app, right? So let's just open that really quick. Let me just make this a little bit larger and go over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to republish this, update this again. All right, and once this is updated, we can go ahead and click on this new tab, open in a new tab again. We can start from scratch, connect with YouTube, and it already kind of knows our API and OpenAI configuration. We just need to add this client ID, so let's go ahead and do that. And I have mine over here, my client ID, just gonna paste it. All right, now it seems to work. So I'm gonna connect my YouTube account. All right, it says that this has not completed the Google verification process. The app is currently being tested and can only be accessed by developer-approved testers. If you think you should have access, contact the developer. I am the developer. So if you are developer, see error details. Okay, so I'm gonna basically take a screenshot of this and give this to Lovable during authentication. So authentication was almost working. We just got that error. We got blocked at the very end, but we're almost there. I can really feel it. And yeah, let's just close this tab again and we can try again once this is kind of fixed, or at least almost fixed. All right, now it says I fixed the authentication process to include this access denied error updated. To make this work, you need to ensure that your client ID in Google Cloud Console has the exact redirect URL. So it should be that one. Let's just double check. You've enabled the YouTube data API v3. Okay, I mean, I did that, so it should be working. So let's just, try this again. Eventually it should work. Eventually, let's just go ahead and see. I mean, I gave it this image of the error, and it said that it fixed the process to address this 403 image. So so let's go ahead and check to see if it actually did that. And let's go ahead and connect with YouTube. Let's go to our settings. All right, and I'm gonna connect, so it seems to work again. Click on this, and I'm still getting the same error code. So I have ensured that all these steps have been done, but I'm getting the same error code. So let's submit that. Maybe it has something to do with this JavaScript thing. So as you can see, authorized JavaScript origins for use with requests from a browser. The HTTP origin that hosts, let's see, this value can contain wildcards or paths if you use a port other than 80. Okay, I don't think we need this. To be honest, let's save this. I don't think we need that. And let's go back to our Lovable app. So maybe it says that maybe some of these causes can be that this API v3 is not enabled in your Google Cloud project, which is not true. It is enabled. There's a mismatch between the redirect URL in your client, in your auth client, and the one used by the app, which is not true. And then it says browser, cookies are causing authentication issues. Maybe that's the truth. Let's go ahead and publish this and actually do this from scratch. So we can go ahead and update this. And it says, go to Google Cloud Console, create a new project, or select existing one, enable the YouTube Data API v3. So go to this one. So let me just actually copy the link. I'm gonna open in a new tab. So just to make sure that everything is working. I mean, ours is enabled. As you can see, API enabled. So that should be good. And click enable, create auth credentials. So we did that. We did this for web application, add a name like YouTube Comment Manager, add this exact comment redirect URL, we did that. Click create and copy your client ID, we did that, and paste your client ID below and click connect with YouTube. So make sure that your YouTube data is enabled, verified. So it's giving us all these common issues again, which we don't really need, but again, let's just get our API. And I'm just going to copy this, paste it down here, connect with YouTube. We can connect with YouTube over here. And again, we get this error. I guess maybe it has to do with some time that it takes to actually verify the whole process. I mean, it says here, it may take 5 minutes to a few hours for settings to actually take effect. So maybe that is something, part of the process. But yeah, apart from that, everything is working. You can add a URL or video ID, which is pretty awesome, of a specific video. It gets the comments, and then what you can do is you can basically just get one of these, reply with AI, and AI basically generates a comment for you. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video today. It was quite fun doing this. We used the YouTube API, which is pretty advanced. You can already start seeing that you need to do a few setups, or you actually have to kind of understand how to do this before you actually implement it, but it actually works with Lovable. You just need some good old patience and yeah, that's pretty much it. Patience and the willingness to do some research, right? Because with research, there's already a bunch of good YouTube videos out there and guides that basically help you already kind of understand how to do this. So yeah, please, feel free to like and subscribe if you like this. I saw that around 87% of you that actually watch my content aren't subscribed. So it just takes you like a little second. You can click on the book subscribe button, and that helps a bunch. But yeah, basically I create content like this almost on a daily basis. So if you like that stuff, feel free to stick around. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.